Cutting to me.
What is up, everybody, and welcome into the Winner's Lounge. Seven. Yeah, 7 in a row. The Nuggets tied the longest win streak of the Jokic era. Do you believe it?
The numbers don't lie, but you frequently do. I don't know what to do.
That's a good point. Somebody should double check for me. No, it's true. It's actually true. They have 7-game win streaks, I think, in each of the last 2 years. None prior to that in the Jokic era. And here we are, 7. Dev, you're getting closer and closer to your prediction. Devstradamus, man.
What was Dev's prediction?
10.
10?
Based on nothing.
He called it at like 2 or something, too. He said
I was feeling it. Like, we was at 2. It was like, as soon as Aaron Gordon came in, we had a hot box and a hot take. He wasn't passing the blunt around. So I just said, you know what? Let me fire one off.
What a blunt? What are you talking about? We were just sharing good times and happy feelings.
Guys, we're presented as always by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Download it, use promo code DNVR, and check out the pregame show because, Dev, you're handing out winners like Jokic hands out cheeseburgers.
Yeah, man. Cheeseburger Eddie, man. I've been throwing them out right here. Today, I think I went like 3-0, 4-0. Like
we don't know because we couldn't all get our bets in.
Casual, undefeated night.
Dev is so good that DraftKings is kind of...
They're just a dime a dozen.
DraftKings kind of take away Dev bets.
I give one out for the opposite team every time.
Yeah.
It's just like a gimme. Like
you hit that one too.
I get the sense that DraftKings is a little nervous about that.
They're so nervous about Dev. We're gonna get the call. We're gonna fire Dev out of nowhere. They're gonna be like, "Well, what happened?"
It's a liability.
Guys, liability, man.
Corporate liability.
Corporate liability. Let me introduce the cast real quick. Hat backwards, chilling, vibes immaculate. Harrison Wind.
This is immaculate wind over here.
One of my goals this year is to just normalize sweatpants at the bar. I'm trying to normalize sweatpants at the bar.
Hold on.
those are sweats.
They look like baseball pants.
These are sweats.
But normalizing sweats at a bar, I think it'd be... I think you're like 100 years too late.
You think that's already here?
Sweats at a bar?
You think sweats at a bar are a thing?
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen, man. What are
That
you
is
talking
not
about?
a thing.
That's
We're
not a
trying to
thing.
make it a thing.
Yeah.
All
right. I was going to say casual Harrison. He's a little too casual. I do have D-line over here. It was appropriately casual.
Guys, we're going streaking. Let's go.
We are going streaking. And then, of course, over here, superstar Dev, a.k.a. Cheeseburger Eddie.
Man, I'm just feeling it right now, man. I just think that we're all feeling it right now. We're on a high right now. Everybody's
We are on a high.
We got,
I'm telling you,
we got good vibes around us. We got like super cool guys that from our stuff, our you people out here. It's good around
Man,
here.
vibes, you might say. You people, yeah. You can see the term of endearment, you people. What do you mean, you people?
I don't know.
You might say, guys, the
was very,
vibes are immaculate. We welcome all super chats if you want to continue. We always appreciate those guys. I mean that sincerely. I usually go back and watch and see who super chatted. We always appreciate them. But we have a new rule in place. Super chats, we're not taking shots on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. All other days we will. But if you come into the bar and you happen to actually buy us a shot, the way my guy Luke did today,
Yeah, get
coming
in here,
into
Luke.
the bar, and look at this one. This one looks delicious.
come get
No
him,
offense
come
to
get
the
him.
entire nation of Serbia.
gotta get behind
You gotta like
me.
really like Jokic in the picture here. There he comes. Here he comes. What up?
Look.
Hey, can you try give us your best Javale? Javale.
We actually have no idea.
We don't
how to
actually know.
pronounce it.
Javale.
Givali.
Cheers, boys. Let's go nuts.
Let's go. Look at this.
Champions. Oh man, that was so much better than the Rakia.
That was a shooter.
I actually
versus a
prefer
shot.
Rakia.
So that's a new rule. Friday, Saturday, maybe Thursday, depending on the event. We'll get our shots on. Rest of the time, super chat us just because you love us. I guess I don't know.
Bummer. I can't believe this is happening. I don't know what to do. Like, sucks that we can't take those shots. I don't know.
That is so bummed. The crowd was like so hyped on a Tuesday, and we were just like, wow, I didn't expect the crowd to really be buying shots on a Tuesday, and here they were.
Bojan Radovic says your Givali is actually perfect.
Yours
Wow.
is?
That's right.
Eric's Javale.
Givali.
We've all learned something here. All right, let's move
That
on.
is so far from how we were pronouncing it.
Yeah, no, we were
2
really
months
far
ago.
off.
We were very Italian. She was right when she said it was Javale.
We were like saying Givali.
We had to do this thing. All right, guys. The Nuggets, man. I'm not going to lie. This game was a little bit like the previous two. There were moments of this game where you thought, what a grind, what a slog.
Yeah.
You're without Millsap. You're without Jamal Murray. Man, is this the one? Okay, everybody loses some nights. Is this the one Denver does? It's a back-to-back. And then what happened? They just pulled out the sledgehammer. The second half happened, and they pulled out the sledgehammer. And what's funny is in the third quarter, they actually got off to a horrible start. I think an 8-0 start.
It was rough.
And then it was like, all right, we're done playing. And from that moment on, the Nuggets just smacked the heck out of them. What stood out, Harrison?
Well, it was funny. It was the bench that put down the sledgehammer. The bench featuring JaVale McGee and Monte Morris that put down the sledgehammer. And I got the vibe tonight of like the 2016 Warriors. You know when the 2016 Warriors were like...
We are the Smuggets, man. We're full on. I am, actually. I do feel it. I'm the
You know when the 2016 Warriors would just mess around for 3 quarters and like they'd let Memphis play with them or let Sacramento play with them and then just stomp their throat in the fourth and just pull away? That's the vibe I got tonight, except it wasn't the best starting lineup in the league pulling away. It was the bench.
Yeah, it was both. To be fair, it was both. That starting unit dropped the 8-0 start, but they also rallied back and like dropped the sledgehammer in the third. So much so that Jokic is. I'll have to look up what his numbers were in the third, but they were absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a good point. He did turn it on.
He turned it on, and then when the bench came in, they just like gave the final death blow.
Yeah.
Eric, did tonight remind you more of the 2016 Warriors or the '96 Bulls?
Tonight reminded me that Nug Life is dead, Smug Life is here.
Smug Life. I can't wait for Smug Life. Whose phone is this?
That's mine.
Oh,
There's
there it
4
is.
people. He throws it at me. The Nuggets are in a place where it just doesn't matter, man. Like, somebody's going to pick up the slack.
Yeah.
It was unsurprised. I mean, it was very surprising that it came from the bench, not the starting unit. But then when the starting unit came back in, they were like, all right, fine. And they just, like, continued the pummeling.
Yeah.
It is...
Every Nugget is good.
Every Nugget is good. Peak Smug Life. Let's go. I can't wait.
Dev, what do you think, man? I mean, are you as impressed with the Nuggets in this one as Harrison appears to be?
I'm actually really impressed. Just a 2-game winning streak without their star, point guard and the guy that like gets them going, and just to have new guys come. Monte Morris comes in right off of an injury. Gets right into the lineup, and he looks like himself.
He looked great.
Then you have Facu, who's been having these up and down type of games. He gets inserted into the lineup, so he has to fill a new role. And then they have to bring the bench unit, and guys are healthy. There's new guys added to the mix, and they just seem to not miss they did not miss a beat at all. Like, they look like the same Nuggets team, no matter who's out there. And it starts with the big guy, MVP. He's out here doing
MVP
whatever he
out
wants
there.
out here, and that really just shows you the type of team that they're on. And also, just to know that those reinforcements are coming back. Paul Millsap comes back. Jamal Murray is going to be back healthy or back, and he gets that rest in the middle of the season. This is a good flow for the Nuggets, and 7 games in a row with the Spurs coming. This is great.
See, this is the thing I keep thinking of. You saw that you can't say Smug Life now?
I don't care what these people say.
your $20 super chat means nothing to me.
You think I lived through the Brian Shaw era, and you people can stop me once I get out of the roll?
It's so true.
Good freaking luck.
It's so true. You don't have ownership over us. My takeaway is, a lot of people have been asking me over the last few days, is this the honeymoon phase with the Nuggets? Aaron Gordon gets there. Are they just running a little hot? Everything this or that? Here's what I would say. The last 3 games, I don't think the Nuggets have played that well.
Yeah.
They've had pockets where they've played well, and the pockets where they play well are good enough to win against bad teams, not very good teams. We're talking about some bad ones here, but nonetheless, it's pretty impressive that just a little bit of all right, guys, third quarter, let's lock in now. Boom, 20-2 run, and okay, that's exactly it. Their knockout punch, very strong.
I like that they had to face some adversity.
Is this adversity, though?
Their adversity is a quarter.
Yeah, but also, we're talking about the Magic. We're talking about the Spurs tonight, who are very depleted.
Yeah, but I don't want the Nuggets to just blow out every team by 20.
Me either.
Over the next 3 weeks. I want them to have some close games. I do.
They're going to have close games. They play Brooklyn. They play the Lakers. They play the Clippers. They play the Jazz. They play Portland. They're going to have no shortage of tests.
Yeah. So I'm glad they got a little bit of a test tonight.
Well, I don't. This is what I'm saying, though. I don't even know if this was a test because, again, Denver did not play well. They played actually pretty poorly. I thought even Jokic looked very frustrated early on, but it was just. What I'm trying to say is they are so good. The margin for error of this team is so wide
totally.
they just have to have a moment where they go, hey, it's time, okay? And then it's time, and they knock you out, and then it's like, okay, it's over. This was a knockout game. This was like if it was a boxing match, you'd be like, okay, even first round, even second round. You're like, oh, wow, is this going to be a competition? And they come out in the third round and just like triple knockout.
Yeah,
you guys watch boxing? You guys ever seen boxing?
Dude, I know. It reminds
technical knockout. Is it technical knockout?
It is
technical
a
knockout.
The TKO.
Yeah, TKO.
Yeah, nobody actually calls it a technical knockout.
TKO.
I mean, I'm kind of with Harrison on this. I definitely think that it's good that they're facing some type of adversity. Also, they did it without their head coach. They had to go through a few different changes throughout the game. Players didn't play up to their full potential, but at any moment they knew that they could turn it on, and they did. And that's something that they need, especially against those Brooklyns and Los Angeles type teams, because there's going to be times that they're going to be down, but they're going to say, we've had so many moments that we've bounced back. We're a team that's resilient, that knows how to turn it around, even if things aren't going our way. So it's good to see it early on, especially when you're on a 7-game winning streak, especially when all of the spotlight and attention is on you and bringing in this new guy. And it feels like from the outside looking in, it's like everything is answered now that Aaron Gordon is here. But we've all been watching the games. It has not been perfect. They've been down against bad teams. They've been losing to bad teams at certain points, and it's like a switch. And now we have to get to the side that you want, Adam, of just blowing these teams out or just having those knockout type punches. So it's good to go through some type of ups and downs while it's happening to get to that point that you want them to be at.
This is the issue with the Brooklyn Nets, is that they are not playing together now. They haven't played together for most of the season. They have talent on paper, but they don't know what it looks like when they get punched in the mouth. They don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's different for every team. I think with the Nets
scored 139 points tonight.
Yeah, but that's their
Kevin Durant came back for the first time in a month, and then they're just like, oh yeah, this is easy.
I think if you
I'm pushing back because I really believe this. I'm like, I would love to sit here and say all that, and you might be right, but at the same time, Nets fans.
But I think if you have a team like the Nets and you have Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving, you don't need to build the chemistry that you need to build if you have a team like the Nuggets.
Right.
Those pieces are. It's not that they're easier to fit together, but you can just roll the ball out.
The margin for error.
Yeah, and have a huge margin for error with those three guys. With a team like the Nuggets, you need to build cohesion. You do.
It's pretty wild. You want to push back?
On, Wind. People are saying your flash is on.
We want to hit the super chats already? Sure, why not? We'll hit some. All right, yeah. Let's see, what do we got here?
Can you read?
I can't.
It says, Malone changed the game. The energy after the ejection changed the game.
So let's talk about that. It's funny to be we talked about Malone has to do something memorable, this or that. Tonight, come on, let's be honest. That technical and throw out he got was so deliberate. Don't you feel it was a very orchestrated? But here's the thing, though. Was it memorable?
No.
Is it iconic?
No.
Is it going to make SportsCenter tonight?
No.
He's smiling about it right now. It's
because he knew.
The problem.
Throw a chair, Malone.
The problem for Michael Malone is he already has the most iconic ejection of all time, where he screamed and then he walked off and then immediately accepted a candy bar.
That was hilarious.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, very kids storming off to his room, fine.
Grabbed the Hershey bar. Was thank you.
But also to your point, I don't think that is memorable. And it's not gonna make SportsCenter or anything like that. But also his team will know their team, their coach is ready to go to bat for them. They understand, he's willing to get himself kicked out of the game. He's willing to put himself out there for them, and that has to feel good because he's probably not even going to get fined. So it's a win-win for both of them. It's everybody else is okay, Malone actually stood up for us, so that feels good, especially with Jokic, and that's the narrative.
Right. It's memorable to Jokic, which is what matters.
All right. That's part of what matters. I still give it a C+, guys. You guys are easy graders. I give it a go. Meaning something to the team was part of it. Meaning something to Jokic, your willingness to do it. The team won, so it didn't end up costing the team. But I do think there's something too. You're going to send a message. Lead SportsCenter. Make everybody start paying attention to this. And maybe he's doing it in his post game. Maybe he has a great liner that he's been practicing and rehearsing.
I don't think Malone wants to make it about him, though. That's probably the last thing he wants.
But I don't want him to make it about him. He needs to make it a thing that people go, that on the jump tomorrow they go, so does Malone have a point? Does Jokic get a tough? You know what I mean? Like, you need something like that.
I just don't think he wants that attention on him, even though it would just be on the situation, not him. I just don't think he wants to go
the guy from Jersey Shore?
Huh?
The situation.
It would be on the situation.
Oh.
No, so here's the thing. Somebody smart can start to dig into the numbers and look at how closely contested Jokic's shots are, where they come from around the court, and just run a regression and say, what is the expected amount of foul calls a player could get? Because he's guarded. It's not like he's wide open on these shots. He doesn't get them for all over. We saw the Plumlee one last night. That wasn't like under the basket. That was a wide open in front of everybody, kind of thing. So there's something like that I feel like Malone could point out and just say, hey, I don't know, just there's no player that gets his shots contested as much as him, yet shoots as infrequently as him. Here's the numbers. Talk amongst yourselves, and I think it would work better.
So you either want him to go like,
but do it in a funny way.
You want him to go nuclear, or like prepare a presentation where
both. You could do both. You do like a pragmatic explosion.
Okay.
I'm glad he got the ejection though, because it needed to happen.
No.
I think it needed to happen because, like, let's be honest, it's been an absolute joke how Nikola Jokic has been officiated this season. And I haven't been on this post-game show while he's been on this little current streak of terrible calls that have gone against him. So
got 4 free throws tonight.
Wow. 4 free throws tonight.
Wow.
I mean, no, it's been an absolute joke. The guy gets reffed like he's a two-way rookie, not the leading MVP candidate who's having a historical offensive season. It's a complete joke. So I'm glad Michael Malone got ejected tonight. I think Jokic is going to be... He's going to sense that his coach is sticking up for him, and it needed to happen. Look, he needed to send a little bit of a message because it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous how he's been officiated this year. It just is.
Yeah, Francisco points out then after the prior super chat, he almost ran away with the ball.
I was hoping he would
when he
take
picked up
the
the
ball.
ball, I was like, take the ball.
I was hoping he would
dude.
take the ball or
Scream that out
chuck it
loud.
into the
I
stands.
did scream that out loud.
One of the
You
two.
knew that I was thinking that because I said it with my mouth.
Out loud multiple times. Take off with the ball.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
Dude, that would have been a memorable. Like you don't have to throw a chair, you just have to
Right.
take the ball.
If he would have just or chucked the ball into the stands, he would have gotten fined.
If you
for
would have
that.
gotten
But,
Kyrie.
Yeah.
Who stood out to you guys tonight, player-wise? I mean, I guess we could talk about Facu. Facu, to me, Facu gets the start tonight. And I actually thought he was not very good early on. Very clunky. Just didn't seem to work. The Nuggets didn't have a very good rhythm. Lo and behold, that flipped immediately. I mean, it's like it really was a two-faced game where you're like, man, Facu, the weak link out there. To all of a sudden, Facu, the MVP. Like, look at this guy going. Yeah. It was a really wild one. So how do you grade him tonight?
Well, I think that we weren't watching the same game.
Okay.
I do not see that switch. I actually thought he was okay to start, and it was horrible for a long, a stretch. And it's not the fact that he was playing horribly. It was how successful the team was when he was not playing that let me know that he was not playing well. Because when he went out is when the Nuggets went on that run in the third quarter. Harrison said it earlier that the bench unit is the ones that got the Nuggets back in the game. Your idea is that Facu's with the bench unit, not tonight. He was with the starters.
Right.
So as soon as they went to the bench and you have Javale Mcgee out there with Monte Morris and everyone else is when the Nuggets actually went on their run and got back in the game. So it wasn't that I seen Facu like playing bad or anything, but his absence was like so well for the Nuggets and flipped the switch that I'm like, okay, maybe this was not his night. Then I go to look at
He was
numbers.
slinging it, man.
He has a -2. Like he
He was a major. This is what I'm saying. He was a major negative in the first half. With that starting group, and then was a major positive in the third and fourth quarters.
Yeah,
and that's why I say it flipped.
And in the fourth quarter, he came back to life, and it was like they made it a point to try to, salvage the night. And that's when we started seeing like the good passes and just like being everywhere.
He's funny because he starts to feel it, huh? Like those passes, like he does a lot of like regular passes. And once he gets in a rhythm, it's everything is flashy.
Once he gets into a rhythm, he can't execute a no-look pass. He has to no-look everything.
Yeah.
I support it.
I support it too. Like, I mean, if you can make him work, and he was making him work tonight.
It is like when Facu looks the worst is when he is like somehow a de facto 3-point specialist because, as you point out, he's always wide open because no one will guard him. They want him to shoot the three, so he then shoots very lackluster looking 3-point shot. Facu cannot make any baskets in the NBA.
This is the thing with him that I think is going to just determine his ceiling as a player at the NBA level, because he really does have NBA talent in a lot of different areas. He's going to be vulnerable with the switching and can't fix that. He's always going to be undersized. But if he can knock down threes, he's a great offensive weapon. But right now, I think he started 0 of 3 and then goes 2 of 2 down the stretch, and those two
pretty much.
But it wasn't garbage time. It was garbage time because of him. And then he's open and he just puts the nails in the coffin with some threes. So this was a great game for him in large part because of that second half. Jokic, we're getting into this habit where we don't talk about Jokic enough. I know that's a crazy thing to say as he peeks over at me from behind my shoulder. But we kind of don't, because he's just so casually great now. And tonight, we were laughing. How is he going to miss his triple-double tonight? He was 1 rebound shy, 1 assist shy. You knew the timeout was coming to take him out. Turns out he was 1 rebound shy. He gets the assist. Right. He goes for 25, 9, and 10, and struggled a little. Struggled's not the right word. Was an A- early, and then he was the MVP when he needed to be, and it's just awesome. Tonight was one of those banal, brilliant games.
Banal. Wow.
There was a point in the game, so yeah, you did see the ups and downs, but there was a point in the game where Jokic just read everything that was happening to him. The Spurs defense played him really well, and they gave him so many different looks that it took a while for him to adjust and to read what was happening. But once he started to see it, you could actually see everything happening and everything operating for him in a different way, and that's when it really did turn around. He was huge. We talked about the bench unit turning around. In that third quarter, he was also pivotal in turning everything around. He's making smart reads. He went on a run by himself, a few runs by himself, and he's also just making everything happen. He's forcing Aaron Gordon to open spots, and he's putting everybody in position while he's being the point guard, and he's pointing things out, and you could just see that he sees the game a few plays ahead, and you don't see that type of stuff. It's actually I think that we don't talk about him enough because we feel like we talk about him too much. He's just so brilliant that he's the conversation every single night, and I mean also that's what he should be. He's the MVP this year, and he's playing it every single night. And if he's out here just going after stats we see,
he's
Russell
never
Westbrook
going after stats.
If we seen that type of stuff, he would have a triple double every single night.
So true. It's so true.
He takes himself out, and he doesn't lobby to put himself back in the game or out there just trying to get rebounds and doing only that. He's actually playing the game the right way, and that's something that I think more people need to appreciate.
You know how easy it would be to get 1 rebound if that's all you had to do? You just don't go play offense. You just go start getting ready to offensive rebound and screw transition defense, screw everything else. You're just I need to get 1 more board here. Is how it goes.
Russell Westbrook would absolutely do that.
He absolutely would.
And everybody else clears it out for him. If a rebound goes up, everybody runs away because they know that's what he's doing.
Russell Westbrook would miss a shot intentionally so he could rebound it.
We also have to talk about somebody. He had my favorite post move tonight. It's a 3-part combo. It's a 3-part combo.
Crazy.
You start. Let me tell you. You start with the shoulder fake. All right, to the left. Then you pivot to the fadeaway or the left-handed jump hook. They bite, and then you inside reverse pivot. Go to your right for the step through finish. It's like an up and under, but instead of going through the other way, you reverse pivot. He's done this a bunch of times, and somebody put this in my mentions today, and I love it. Instead of the dream shake, the dream catcher.
I love it. Mark it down.
Mark it down,
Sharpie.
That's so elaborate.
In Sharpie, it's the best name. That move from here on out is known as the Dream Catcher.
We got Rob Nugs with that as a super chat as well.
Dream Catcher? Oh, he's absolutely right.
We're making it happen.
5 pounds, well spent. That's exactly what it is. And you know what's funny? I always wonder if Jokic saw the chatter on the Sombor Shuffle and then decided to start doing it because it was cool. So maybe we'll get the Dream Catcher. Now he's going to be you know what? I got another signature. A lot of players have 1 signature shot. I got 2.
Dude, everything
He
Jokic
never
does
saw
is
more
signature.
shuffles anymore, really.
He does from time to time. Yes, he does.
Not with the regularity that he
Nah,
was
It
in
really
the
felt like it was
playoffs.
going to be a thing that
In the
happened.
playoffs, it was
Dude,
twice a game.
He just did it against Vucevic the first time. So it's been maybe 7 or 8
But I
games.
also think that it's a
in the
situation.
playoffs, he was doing it every night.
It's a situation where he's stuck, and I think
Yeah,
in the playoffs
he's
he
never
was
stuck right
he was
now.
too heavy, and he couldn't get to those spots. So that's a way to create like more space for yourself. Now he's blowing by guys with like dunks and things of that nature. So I think that's why the Serbian shuffle is like going away, because he doesn't have to do anything. He's doing Euros now.
Serbian shuffle. What?
Yeah, who are you?
Who are you, Ryan Ruka?
Sombor, yeah, exactly.
I thought you were Serbian,
Wow.
dude. What's going on here?
It's so hot in here.
Devin's shook right now.
That shot is starting to hit him. All right, let's take our first break, guys. We're long overdue for our first break, but on the other side, we have a lot of other players to get to, including Michael Porter Jr., who continues his hot streak of scoring. Kind of had an off night. Still shot 50%.
This team is stupid. What are we supposed to talk about?
They're too good. They're too good. Check out the Mile High City Copper Lager from Breck Brew. I was drinking one of these during the game. It's a great beer to take down during a Nuggets win. You can't miss it. It's got that Nuggets Skyline blue can. It's got the Nuggets logo on it. Check out the Mile High City Copper Lager from Breck Brew. You can get it at the farmhouse, at the Breck Brew Farmhouse. You can get it at your local liquor store as well. Also, DNVR listeners can get 20% off at manscaped.com with the code DNVR. Use the code DNVR at manscaped.com. Get 20% off plus free shipping. You also get free shipping with that code DNVR. Pick up the Lawnmower 3.0. It's what all of us here on this show use.
I gotta think they have.
Just going to assume that.
They've got to have some sort of like ankle products, right? Too to get the ankles ready for spring and summer.
What's going on your ankles, bro?
Dude, what are we talking about? His ankles? You're not catching talking about your
I
ankles.
don't have any hair on my ankles.
No,
really.
I know. Well, I know. I'm just saying. If anybody wants to look like Harrison Wind, which of course they do, with the hairless, beautiful ankle, just go to Manscaped. They don't have a specific product for it, but come on.
You can probably use the Lawnmower 3.0
You can easily
on
use
it.
the Lawnmower 3.0.
You can get 20% off plus free shipping with the code DNVR at manscaped.com. 20% off plus free shipping with the code DNVR at manscaped.com.
Yeah. That was really quick ad reads. Did you say something there, Kel?
We've got an important note from Goya in our chat. They call the almost triple-double the Sombor double.
God, this
The
team is
Sombor
just-
double. You know what? That's pretty good. What do you think about that? I kind of like it.
I love it.
The
I
Sombor
absolutely
double?
love it.
I don't like pumping up these guys' egos. So
I know they're a little
I'll give it
too
a
good,
4.
aren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
They're a little too
If you're
good.
close, like that close,
The Sombor double
The Sombor double. It's not a-
Sombor double's great.
He's the only one that could get it too.
There's a
It's
Sombor
great.
shuffle, the Sombor double. I love it, man.
That's great.
All right, so let's talk about Michael Porter Jr. tonight, because I like if I was grading tonight, I would say this was probably a B- game from him. I mean, he did some good things, but the standard he sort of set over the last 15 has been so high. But you look up 18 points, 10 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, continues to fill up one of every stat, and he goes 7 of 14. And one of those shots, one of those 7 shots, was a half quarter
Yeah.
that I was surprised he even heaved. Otherwise, he would have been perfect, I believe. No, he was 1 of 3 from the three-point line. How do you assess him tonight, Wind?
So he shot 50% from the field, and so his 50%
For the 16th straight time.
streak is up to 16. That's wild, absolutely wild. But I felt like I saw more shots from him tonight that were like you would classify as shots that weren't within the flow of the offense.
Yeah.
There were more of those tonight, I feel like, than we've seen over the last couple of weeks. And so yeah, not like the best night for him, but he still walks into 18 and 10, and it was probably like a B game, I'd say.
Yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Jamal is out, right? Like, suddenly there are a lot more shots open, and Michael Porter Jr. willing to step up and fill that void.
Yeah.
He was definitely pressing more than he typically does, but I think that's because the ball was going to him with more regularity and quicker in these possessions, and probably had, he's getting his confidence up. I mean, you can tell he's feeling it, which is great. Like, I want him to be in that zone where he feels like no shot is a bad shot. That's where he started in this league, and then we dropped off for a long time. We had a horrible valley we all had to get through. We just had to talk about whether or not he was going to play. The tower.
The tower is like fully rebuilt, it feels like. It's like a beautiful tower.
Yeah, the Leaning Tower is done. We rebuilt that thing.
Leaning Tower is
We're
down.
back up.
What's like the top tower in the world?
What is the top tower?
Tower of Doom.
Leaning Tower of Pisa?
Tower of-
No, that's what he's saying. That was the old tower. It
The
crumbled.
Sears Tower?
Yeah, the top tower can't be one with an
Yeah, the broken
engineering
tower.
issue that makes it fall.
It's so funny.
There's got to be a tower. The Europeans, what is the top tower?
Yeah, we don't know. There's not a lot of
The
towers.
Burj Khalifa. That's
Is that a tower? I mean, that's a building.
The tallest
I guess.
building
It's a
in the world.
building, but yeah. Oh, of course you have
nice
Kale.
humble
This is-
brag,
yeah,
Kale.
well, nice flex, bro.
Dubai.
It's
Oh,
funny-
Gordon.
I'll tell
Just
you
kidding,
one
Kale.
thing we were
Gordon
joking.
has arrived.
Gordon's in the chat. Oh, hell yeah, Gordon. What up? One thing we were laughing about, we could kind of share with them.
Oh, they
Gordon,
also said that- you know what they said? The Eiffel Tower. We can't say
That's a good
Rudy
tower.
Gobert. We can't go there. But the Eiffel Tower seemed like a pretty obvious thing.
yeah, that is a pretty big tower that we forgot. We just forgot about that tower.
The worst tower is Stifle Tower. Worst tower.
MPJ and Gordon, it's funny that the Twins has kind of been like an unofficial nickname for them, you know, because they really are opposites. That steal that Aaron Gordon had today in the open court, first of all, it happened within 1 second. I don't remember who it was. Was it DeJounte Murray or somebody? And they get the steal, and then he immediately jumps in the air like a mountain lion and just grabs the ball like right out of his hands and rips it from him. And
I
it's
thought
like,
he grabbed it so hard he was going to puncture the ball.
that's what it looked like.
Yeah. He was just going to pop it.
I mean, he really did just look like a give me that thing, get out of here. And you're just like, and he read it so quickly and so precisely.
Yeah.
And it's such a nice contract to Michael Porter, who like so often if like a fly lands on the ball, he's like, I can't hold on to this thing.
Yeah, it kind of looked like Kenyon Martin, like back in like the day, like
Ooh, I
those
like
type
that.
of just physicality type plays. But also like with that, the ref didn't even know what to do. He's just like, I mean, he just took it out of your hands, and then he sets up Jokic
like, do you
for
want me to
like
call your mom,
Yeah,
or-
for an easy basket, and that's just what it is. And I think that's why Michael Porter Jr. is like so big on the twin thing, because he completes him. Like he does all the things that he can't do. Like he answers all those questions.
It's so true.
Everything that Michael Porter Jr. can do, Aaron Gordon can't. Everything that Aaron Gordon can
Yeah.
do, Michael Porter
They can't
Jr.
do the same things at all.
So like when you have two opposites, like they just come together and then they're the light skinned brothers. So they're like, sure.
What about the Yin Yang twins?
Yeah, it literally, no.
We can't do it, man.
Wait
We
till you
can't do
see
it.
my
Oh,
shot.
Do you have a design coming where they're like,
The Yin
No,
Yang twins.
you're not familiar with Yin Yang Twins.
Yeah.
oh, I know that.
I was like, wait till you see
I
my
know the
locker.
rap group. Aren't they no
got
limit? Are they no
design.
limit?
No,
to-
they're not no limit.
Oh, I
No.
thought
They do
were.
have a limit.
Yeah, they were at the time, kind of.
All right,
Yeah,
all
whatever.
right. But Gordon, man, we keep calling him like here. We're like he's like a panther, which sucks because if we would have gotten Mountain Lion in our head, that could have been a cool nickname. But he really is, man. The way he plays is just like he's like always in the pounce position. Defensively,
Yeah.
he's always just like this.
He's always in a
Crouching.
stance too.
Just
He's always
crouching.
in such this low defensive stance.
He really is just like incredible. I love Aaron Gordon. Like I really like. It's funny tonight. He goes 4 of 8. He's like never looking to score. Almost. If you had a complaint about him, it would be maybe he needs to look to score 2 more than what it is. And I love that because you can always ramp those things up. But he's just so content to do everything else. I mean, he's content to pass. He's content to handle if he needs to or get out of the way if he does. He's content to rebound. He's content to defend. And it's just so incredible to watch a guy like when a player embraces who they are and does it at a high level, it's a beautiful thing. When they don't, it's so frustrating. And Gordon just does it. Will Barton tonight, he was a game high. Was he game high? No, he wasn't quite a game high. But he was a plus 15, highest of everybody on the starters. Gets 14 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, only 3 of 13 shooting. But when I've said this a lot, when he's good, the Nuggets are good. He was another one of these guys that was good in the 3rd/4th.
Well, he was a plus 15, highest plus minus of all starters. He was 6 of 6 from the line, 5 assists, 2 steals, only 1 turnover. So, like on the surface, his game looked a little mediocre. But
I would go up and down.
yeah,
Up and down.
up and down.
I would say down.
Oh,
He was great though when the Nuggets were good, like during the good stretch.
Oh.
You're just because you had his points and you were waiting all that time for him to get the
No,
point.
I won all my bets. Like, I won all
Well, he
those
got his points. So.
Yeah, but also like he was just out. He's missing everything, and it just doesn't make sense
Dude,
for
yeah.
him to be out there missing every single shot that he takes. Like yes, he's like trying to like do all of these other things, rebounding, trying to set up guys, but when you're missing everything and you keep on shooting, it makes it really hard because it's not like the offense wasn't flowing or like they needed him in like spots to take shots. They had Jokic going, they had Michael Porter Jr. going, and everything else is going. But Barton is still out there just shooting every time, and he's missing every single shot.
So a big takeaway for me tonight: the Nuggets don't have Jamal Murray last night. They set a season high in points. They don't have him tonight, and they
Wow.
only score 106. a reason for that, I feel like, or one of the reasons was you sub out Monte for Facu in that starting lineup, and I think that hurt. But it just didn't seem like the offense was flowing tonight.
It was not at all.
For extended periods of time.
That broke our theory that the Nuggets are better without Jamal Murray.
That was
definitely not a theory.
Not true.
Not a theory. We
Nobody
had.
actually thought
Nobody
that.
thought
But
that.
I think to answer
Literally
that, though,
nobody
I
thinks
think
that.
the idea is if I'm a starter, if I'm a player on the team, and I'm alongside Facu, I'm saying, Facu's not going to try to score. He's also just going to try to set us up. They want me to shoot the ball. They want me to, score. If Monte's out there, I'm like, Monte's going to make the right play.
Totally.
Yeah.
He can score. He can do whatever he wants. And also, we know it's, in the flow of the offense. So I think that the idea is if we play alongside Facu, we have to do more. Or we have to do, be different. And I think that we've seen that in Barton and in Michael Porter Jr.
No, yeah. I thought Will tried to, take over the offense for a lot of the game tonight. And he was 2 of 7 from 3, 3 of 13 from the field, so he was 1 of 6 from 2-point range. Couple misses around the rim, I think probably 3. And that's obviously been a theme with him. He just can't finish this season. So I felt like he tried to definitely shoulder the load on offense and just kind of take over.
Yeah. If we go to the bench, there's a lot of guys we could go to. The guy maybe you guys feel differently, but the guy I want to start with, Javale Mcgee, 7 points, 8 rebounds. I thought he gave some really good minutes tonight. And the thing that stood out to me so much about him tonight was, one, his length, but also just how bouncy he still is at 33.
It's crazy.
At 33, he still moves so well, and he gets up. And some of those plays tonight were just it's a different. What's nice about him is he adds such a completely different element than what the Nuggets have.
Yeah.
And they're kind of even a different, Plumlee could get up a little bit, but JaVale's so long and gets up so much. I really do feel like Millsap rested tonight. I was glad that we got to see JaVale Mcgee for an extended run. I kind of think he's one of the guys.
Or at least should be, especially when you just have to match other teams in size. That dunk that he had in the game, if he's not JaVale McGee, if he's Blake Griffin or anyone else, everyone's going to talk about that dunk. They're going to say how incredible it was, how high he got, and things that like that. But since it's JaVale McGee, it's going to go under the wayside. But he gave great energy tonight. He's altering shots at the rim. He's just always active and around the rim. He seems to always be at the right place.
Yeah.
Even if things happen, he doesn't grab every single rebound. He muffs balls out of bounds and things like that. But he still gives you so much energy that you just okay, you take the good with the bad with him and just keep going. And also he's so much different than Hartenstein that you're just okay, let's go with it.
Yeah, the Nuggets have never had a lob threat like him. And he's always hanging around by the rim on the offensive end of the floor. Whenever somebody drives to the rim, whenever Monte or Facu drives, he's always signaling for the oop. He's a big signaler for the oop type guy. And they had Mason Plumlee, but you couldn't just throw lobs like that to Mason Plumlee.
You could throw a lot, but it's a whole other level.
Right, it's a whole other level because you can just kind of throw it up anywhere near the rim and JaVale can go get it. Yeah. That was super noticeable. That one block and near run out that Denver had was also super noticeable, but it was a 24-second violation. And then that one finish, that dunk that he had where he just soared through the lane. And the dude's 33 years old.
7'1" or whatever, and just
he
keeps
can
going
sky
up, man.
still.
Yeah.
He's so mobile.
I just love how he just hangs around the rim and is just signaling.
Yeah, he did not look encumbered by his acute asthma this night.
Your theory
McGee,
is taking a big hit.
Well, listen,
Small hit.
I mean, listen. I don't want to see the man fail. I love JaVale McGee. JaVale McGee is a guy that when we got him the first time, I could not have been more hyped because he was he had the crazy 2-ball dunk in the dunk contest. He's pure raw athleticism.
Cracks me up that you've brought that up twice now on this show. It cracks me up that that's a memory you go.
He wasn't even on the Nuggets for that.
Because it was so shocking
the
to
Wizards.
me.
Yeah.
He's so imposing physically.
He really
nothing
is.
I'd ever seen before. So I had so much hope and promise for him, and he just couldn't. It just never came to pass. And so obviously coming back in this diminished role where now he's been on other teams. He's seen how it's done, the maturity, et cetera, et cetera. You still see goofy JaVale McGee stuff where he tries to set a pick, he falls on the ground. He does goofy
But he's not goofy serious now, though. You know what I mean? He is goofy by nature, but he also understands.
That to me is not goofy. He's trying to be goofy. It's he just is goofy.
Yeah.
Like he just does weird things,
funny,
but then
silly.
he locks in, and then
Yep,
when
exactly.
he actually like gets his athleticism and his body going in the right direction, like get out of the goddamn way.
I'm weirdly happy that he's back.
I
I'm
think
like
he's
weirdly,
happy that he's back too.
Like feels right that he came back here. You know, weirdly for him to be. He wasn't a guy who was clamoring for to be a Nugget. Well, JaVale, I hope he gets another like Gary Harris. Like we all hope he could come back someday. And, I didn't think that for JaVale, but now he's here.
Like when JaVale McGee was gone, I was like, thank God we don't have to defend him on Shaqtin' the Fool anymore. Like, it was just like it was like a weight lifted.
Something I've picked up on going to games is that when JaVale is readying to go in or like warming up or about to check in, he'll walk over to the scores table, take a huge puff of his inhaler, and then like go back on the exercise bike and get ready to go in.
Yeah.
The inhaler is very prominent.
Because my fear was that that he had a medical condition that you can't like gut through. Like he had a medical.
I queued that up on a tee for you.
JaMychal Green, speaking of athleticism, tonight JaMychal Green had 2 big dunks. It's funny because I kind of think of JaMychal Green like Paul Millsap,
Me too.
But every now and then, do you remember the putback dunk he almost had that would have been like the best dunk of the year? He's is he sneaky athletic?
He is. That was wild. The plays that you're talking about were back-to-back plays, and it was like putbacks. And
well
like
above the rim.
Perfect timing, and you're just like, he has that? Because you think of him like so old. You just like, he doesn't seem like he'll get up. But then he has those moments where he cuts baseline and everyone moves out of the way because he's so big, but he's also athletic. So, yeah, sneaky athletic.
Sneaky athletic, JaMychal Green. And he was good tonight as well. The guy that I don't really have a take on, but I'm looking through the box score here, and I'm very interested. PJ Dozier plays 28 minutes. He's a game-high plus 25.
This is the craziest thing about PJ Dozier. When he's locked in, he has insane plus-minus numbers.
Yeah.
Remember he had like plus 31 the other day.
Yeah. I wish I was
24.
PJ Dozier's agent, man. I wish you could just get in his ear, because I'm telling you, PJ Dozier's a great player. I just feel like he doesn't fully understand why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think anyone understands why. Even if you were his agent, I don't think you would understand why. But I think
you can understand why. I actually disagree. There are things he does that are very like, hey, do these things every time. That's who you are in this league.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say with tonight. Like, for instance, the big thing that stands out to me is he only takes 6 shots. Yeah. So then he finds it in a different way. He gets 7 boards in the game. And like a lot of those are just like hustling type plays. That's what you are. You're a role player. You are not a star. You are not a guy that has to take every shot with those type of units. And what we've been seeing with the numbers being so big is because he's alongside Monte, where he doesn't feel like he has to take every single shot, where he doesn't feel like he has to have the ball in his hands. Yeah. He's off ball and he's just working hard. And that's how he'll make it in this league. That's why he's in the league. Nobody thinks he's a star besides him.
It is like pretty amazing the guard play, and maybe when I say this out loud it'll be obvious, but like just the difference it can make in a guard if they are on ball or off ball. Like Facu off ball doesn't make any sense in the NBA.
Yeah,
right.
But
Monte, Jamal Murray, so much better off ball. He's good on ball, but like it's weird like what it does to you. It like changes the mentality, obviously, because you're running the point, you're looking to get other people involved, and it just like versus just sort of waiting for things to come to you. And you're right, like when PJ Dozier has the ball in his hand, he's like, in a way, it's like the green light is already dimly lit, and it's just whether or not he decides to listen to it versus like needing to be in the right place so that he gets the ball, then he can shoot.
Yeah.
An important update for you in your personal vendettas. You won the Nuggets outlasted the Avs for
He's Avs and Nuggets. This isn't like
I like them both, but I mean I'm on this show, and I will talk smack. And AJ made it sound like, you know what? I'll deal with it on Twitter. You'll see.
He'll deal with it publicly.
The Avs are killing me. I had the 3-team Colorado parlay tonight. The Nuggets, the Rockies, and the Avs.
The Rockies
Nuggets
win?
won. I'm pretty sure the Rockies won.
Yeah, I don't like that the Avs
they were
lost,
up
by the
big.
way. I love
you
the
would
Avs.
think the freaking Stanley Cup favorites could come through, but no.
Not tonight.
Unbelievable.
So looking through the box, the advanced box score here, PJ Dozier, I see why he was a plus 25 tonight. When he was on the court, the Nuggets, defensive rating of 70. And this is 28 minutes. This isn't like a small section. This is a large section of the game, and he was a 70 defensive rating. JaVale McGee, 74. So those minutes where they were out there together with JaMychal Green, with Campazzo, they were really getting some defense into the game, and that's pretty incredible.
Is this the bench lineup that we want to see? Is this the bench lineup we want to see?
Well, I will
Monte, PJ, JaVale McGee, JaMychal Green.
Those 4, yes.
Those 4.
I don't know who the other guy is.
Monte, PJ,
Facu is the other guy, I guess.
Yeah, I was about to say, but it messes it up because you have Facu who's a starter
Right.
who shouldn't be. It's the
Right,
starter.
Murray comes back.
And then also you have Paul Millsap who they just feel like they have to play. So that throws off the entire you can't put that group together even though you've been seeing it be successful.
Yeah. But maybe a theory from tonight is Facu's got the start. If Jamal Murray is playing, he's obviously starting, and maybe that means like Facu's not in the rotation because they want to try this bench unit out together.
Dude, Facu is tough.
Just a theory.
Oh, he's really tough.
It's like because he does things where he drives the lane and makes the looks one way and makes the craziest, I guess what amounts to a pocket pass, but it was no look and it was like incredible. And then he also just does things where the people that are his detractors are just vindicated over and over. And then, but he's so talented that, I don't like the idea of him just not playing anymore because it seems like the more he plays, the more he does
Facu?
things. Yeah.
Facu is going to be best, I really feel like, in a 5 to 10 minute per game role. I feel like he can be effective at times in that.
That's so hard to do.
A guy.
That's what you have to do.
Yeah, you're playing up against a certain type of point guard. You put Facu in for 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there on him, like a Dame blower, to tire him out, to press him full court. That's where Facu, I think, can be used best.
I don't even think they're counting Facu's steals anymore. Like the other guy, no joke. The other team throws the ball over the top. Their guy catches it. Facu just comes around, pokes it out, and just takes off with the ball. And he doesn't have any steals. Like I've been actually looking at it. They just don't do it. Like he has great timing on where just waiting for the ball to come down. But also back to Harrison's point. Sorry to throw it off. He has to come in for just small spurts because you can't play him a lot. And also he's in for a reason, and that the reason is to just provide a spark to the team. Provide some type of defense, especially on those small guards that can get loose on the Nuggets. The Nuggets have issues with the small guards. Why not use your small guard who could actually defend them in those type of ways? So just how Millsap is going to have to be situational, just how McGee's going to have to be situational. You do the same thing with Facu, and I think that actually cuts your lineup a lot of times, and it also lets people know, looking at the schedule ahead of time, okay, we're playing this team that doesn't have a lot of bigs. This is not going to be my night.
Yeah.
We have a team that has a small guard. This is my night. So you're not guessing.
Yeah, I think if you're looking for a playoff role for him, that's it.
Yeah, the dichotomy of Facu is that, when people don't like him, they point at his defense because they can throw the ball over his head and blah, blah. But he's also literally won games. He won that Chicago
Oh, it's so
Bulls
true.
game
This is a great point.
with his steals and being disruptive. He giveth and he taketh, and that's what makes him so tough. It's what's tonight going to be? Is this a taketh?
You know what's funny, though? It is hard because you'd rather just have your 9 guys that are the same every time. But if you get into a playoff series, there is something to be said for this whole team roots for each other really hard. And there's something to say for, if it's Facu's night, you can envision a perfect scenario where Dozier's over there, go do it, man. You got it. You know what I mean? And I think this team has a good connection like that. So especially as you get into the playoffs where it's hey, every game matters, and maybe they'll get there. Let's take our last break. On the other side, Brendan Vogt, he's wrapping up at Ball Arena right now. He'll be joining us in just a moment. But first...
first, guys, we got to talk about Strava Craft Coffee. We got a new code for everyone at Strava Craft Coffee, not just new users. Everybody can use this code. You can save 25% off when you use the code DNVR25. StravaCraftCoffee.com, packed with CBD, which has been known to help cure long-term migraines, back pain, arthritis, IBS. Use code DNVR25 at StravaCraftCoffee.com for 25% off your order. Also, this coming weekend, the Masters.
What?
The Masters.
This weekend.
The second greatest tournament in the world. Yeah, but you're going to want to be on DraftKings for the Masters. DraftKings, America's top-rated sportsbook app. They're putting you in the center of the action by giving you a shot to land on the green. This week, DraftKings is giving you 100-1 odds on the golfer of your choosing to finish in the top 10. If you haven't tried DraftKings, this is the time. This is just one of those awesome promotions from DraftKings where they're practically giving away money. turn $1 into $100. It's really simple. Just pick any golfer from this weekend's tournament, and if they finish in the top 10, you cash $100. So make sure to download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code DNVR when you sign up to turn $1 into $100 if the golfer of your choosing finishes in the top 10 of this weekend's tournament. That's code DNVR to turn $1 into $100 for a limited time.
Golf really
The
never
Masters?
stops.
No, but is that what it is? It's the Masters, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the,
it's
the
this
Masters,
big golf guy over here, Adam
The
Mattis.
Masters does the Masters happen? That's a tournament. Golf.
That's what
Stop.
I'm asking about. I'm asking about Masters.
No,
It hasn't started yet. When is it?
It starts on Thursday, right?
starts on Thursday.
That's tomorrow.
Yes.
All right, that's what I was gonna say. Is tomorrow? Don't have to come to the studio or to the office tomorrow. I'm gonna have some golf on tomorrow because betting on golf is so fun. And it's so fun. I'm telling you, because you get a bet on this exact shot. You don't have to wait. You know, sometimes you make a bet and you're like, I wait for tonight's Nets game or whatever. This one, it's like, par. You know, like we just bet on when he's gonna go here. Then he hits, or the putt like miss.
Dev is looking at you so
There's so many-
disappointed
there's-
right now.
I'm telling you, wait. I'm gonna hit you up tomorrow. I'm gonna be like, turn on the
Don't
TV.
hit my
I'm
phone
hitting you
about
up
no
tomorrow.
golf.
I'm hitting you up. We're gonna text each
There's
other. I'm
so
gonna
many
say,
things that you don't realize are cultural until you find yourself in a conversation where you're like, you know what's awesome? Baseball. And then Dev's like, I've literally never been to a game. And you're like,
This is crazy. This is crazy talk. This is crazy talk.
I've been to a game, just to say that I've been to a game.
yeah. No, we're gonna
Yeah.
go to a
But
game.
I
Dev.
don't enjoy baseball or golf. They're probably about the same.
Well,
Yeah, we're gonna
hey,
go
to be
golfing.
fair, I don't like play golf or anything either. But I'm just saying, when we first got DraftKings, there was golf on because it's the pandemic, and I was like, let me try this as golf. It was a blast.
Also
It was
during
so-
that time, you'll recall show Adam Mars decided after playing WGT, the online game of golf, declared to the world or anyone listening he was going to become amazing at golf.
Oh, I am
because
going to
he
become
had-
amazing. I am going to become amazing at golf. I went one time. I promise you, I'm going to beat Eric one time this year. And you guys are, I
this is
can't
the
wait for it.
sweetest.
I'm going to beat him this
Yeah.
sometime
Yeah.
before the
Yep.
fall.
Yep.
I'm going to beat him, and he's going
Yeah,
to be
you are.
so mad.
Yeah.
It's gonna
I've,
be,
You guys should put on a golf tournament.
Yeah, I've seen Adam play golf, and
you
I-
haven't
I've
really seen
never
me
heard
play golf.
any-
You haven't really seen me play golf.
This
you
threat
haven't
that
really
he
seen
gave
me
me
play.
is the sweetest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Perfect. Maybe we'll have to put some money on it.
Yes.
Maybe we'll have to put a little bit of money on it.
Yes, absolutely.
Can't wait. I can't. I'm so confident about this.
I
So
know.
amazing.
That's why we need to put
It's gonna
money
be
on
incredible.
Oh, man, don't fight, guys.
Looks like we have Brendan vote. Oh, do you have another read to do?
Yeah, I do.
My goodness.
Well, to finish up on DraftKings, must be 21 or older, Colorado only, new customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. Also, no matter what type of student you are, MSU Denver Online is an awesome choice. They have great classes, great teachers. They have teachers who will work with you around your schedule. If you work a job on the side, it's the perfect online university for everybody. Super affordable. Check out their entire course list at msudenver.edu/online.
I like that. Harrison, have you ever had Red Hot?
Yes.
Have you?
The sauce?
Yes.
Sure. Frank's Red Hot?
Yeah, there
Are you asking another cultural question? Is this where you're going with
I was
that?
not.
That's what
He's just caliente.
Who is our king of the game? It's a mystery to all of us. Oh, it's Jokic, of course. How could it be? I mean, we didn't give it to him last time when he had like an incredible game.
Is this him getting hammered right now?
No, this is the no call that led to Malone's ejection, is what
That's
it
what I'm
is.
saying.
And by the
He's
way,
getting hammered.
he kind of is. He's also kind of giving that little chicken wing. There's a little bit of the old famous Jokic.
This is a very strange image you chose, Gail.
It looks like the statues at the Performing Arts.
The Long Boys.
Pictures that we got from USA Today of Jokic. So
Oh, there we go. All right, we have somebody, Brendan Vogt, waiting in the wings at Ball Arena. And last time I made him wait more than 30 seconds, he was yelling at me the entire time. So we'll welcome him in. Brendan, welcome back onto the show.
Thanks for having me on in a timely manner, fellas. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet, man. Real quick before we get into it, who do you think is going to win at golf when me and Eric play later? Eric or myself?
Oh, that's a good question, man. I could not care less.
All right, fine. Take us.
Did you say Eric?
Yeah, Eric, yeah.
Take us inside the locker room here. Actually, first take us inside the building. Is there anything noteworthy from the arena tonight?
Great vibe. One thing I noticed with this team, pre-game in huddles right now, they just seem very locked in on this, I guess, creating this family atmosphere thing. There's no guy is sitting down until he's dapped up every single player or coach on that sideline. In every huddle, most of the key guys really seem to be engaged. At one point in this game in the third quarter, Paul Millsap spent the entire timeout talking with an official, and I would assume sort of calmly lobbying for a better whistle. There's just a sort of top to bottom focus with this group right now that stood out to me.
And don't you think that's meaningful? Like, it's not just that you're observing it. R.J. Hampton was interviewed about this very thing and comment on it, that Denver had this incredible culture on the bench and this or that, and Orlando hadn't had that yet. I think what you're pointing out, very important.
Look, to me, it's the latest sign in a long line of signs that these guys fully understand where they're at in the timeline, and that the time is now, and that a championship is possible. That just is the attitude that I'm getting.
Love that.
Okay, that's the rejuvenation, the post-trade deadline rejuvenation I've been talking about. They think they're in it for a championship this year.
I love it. Well, they are in it for a championship, for sure. Okay, take us inside the locker room. What did Michael Malone have to say about his ejection?
He was not in a great mood. Mike Singer tried to joke with him, I think, about letting Wes Unseld coach more often. Malone wasn't feeling it. I thought it was a good joke. But he did, on the ejection, he said, "I'm not going to get into it. All I'll say on that is that it's been brewing for a while." He said it's his job to protect all of his players, quote, "and tonight I did it."
How would you grade the ejection? Scale of 1 to 10.
I would give it an 8.5, maybe a 9. Could have thrown a chair. You guys know I would have been in favor of that. Short of that, shy of that, I thought it was great. Like he didn't just go through the motions. That looked like it really boiled over. And by the way, 2 possessions later, Jokic drew a whistle. Granted, it was on the floor, but it happened.
Did you notice he almost stole the ball? He almost took the ball and left.
Dude, I wanted him to Kyrie that
Me
thing.
too.
So
Yeah, we all wanted him
We
to.
wanted him to Kyrie it.
What else?
Moving on, Malone did add 22-8 now on the season when they win the rebounding battle. On the bench, quote, "I thought the bench was really, really good." Shouted everyone out by name. Spent a lot of time on Dozier and Mcgee. Circled back to hit Dozier again and just really touched on how good the bench was. Thought they looked great. On the fans, he said he knew it was only about 4,000, but man, did those 4,000 make a difference. Thank you to the fans. Keep coming out. And then finally, he said Jokic ran right up to him after the game and said, "Coach, I got your back."
Yeah, Vote's talking about the fans, how Malone's kind of saying how big of a difference the fans have been making.
Can you turn up the monitor a bit? Okay, sweet. Anything else from Malone?
Nope, we can move on to Jokic, fellas. On Malone having his back, Jokic said, quote, "He's actually always talking to the officials. We are trying," I think he said, "to create a family atmosphere." And just sort of really touched on how everyone has each other's back right now, and he can feel that, and everyone can feel it. On JaVale McGee, he said he was aggressive. He was trying to do the right thing. That was really nice to see. Nice to see a veteran really sort of buying in. And then finally, on the turnovers, there were a lot of turnovers tonight, mostly me, actually, he realized mid-sentence. And then he said that he was fine with that, quote, "I'd rather me make mistakes than someone else," which I thought was an interesting quote. Facundo Campazzo, I'm playing with the starters.
Podium game. Facundo did?
Yeah,
Wow,
baby.
podium game. All right.
He said, well, he pointed out it was his second time starting. He's just trying to make good decisions. He knows it's something new for him. When asked if Malone's ejection can provide any energy, he stopped, laughed, and said, "A lot." I think that was contagious. We needed the extra energy. I think he's a winner coach that showed up in this situation.
Love it. That's awesome.
And then to wrap it up, fellas, we got to talk to JaVale McGee.
Hell yeah! What a great podium you got,
great
man. You
podium night.
got an A+ cast of characters.
Well, Nick O'Hare hit us up and said, "Should we get weird tonight?" And we were with
I love it. Good job,
so
Nick.
Well, I
We
did
were-
remark how happy Jokic looked when he was walking off the court and just knew he didn't have to do an interview.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah, so I did ask McGee, guys, because I don't know if you've noticed, he's been very interactive with the fans, very emotional and enthusiastic where he can, sort of
Love
off the
it.
bench. So I asked him, to what extent, if at all, do you still feel connected to Denver and this community? And he touched on how in his first stint they went to the playoffs, and that was his first time ever playing in meaningful basketball. Well, I still have those memories and those experiences, and it just makes me feel young again, I guess.
Oh, I love that.
Right? How about
JaVale's great, man.
Who got the biggest ovation tonight, Vote? Was it JaVale? Was it Bol? Was it Malone when he got the ejection?
The candidates are Malone ejection, JaVale post-game interview at midcourt with Scott Hastings, and Bol checking in for garbage time. It remains the most exciting thing that can happen in this city.
Yeah, probably. Well, that's great stuff, man. Nuggets now have 7 in a row. I don't know if you knew this. The longest streak of the Jokic era. Tied.
I did not know that. All I know is we're 3 wins away from Dev running naked down Colfax. So.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby.
The look in Dev's eye right now.
I wanted to close on this note, though, guys. Sticking with JaVale. He is such a joy to watch in person. It is a very unique energy. And I'm probably going to get laughed at for this, but I mean it kind of earnestly. It almost inspired me, man, to just he wherever that dude is, wherever his 2 feet are, there's a smile on his face and he seems glad to be there. And I don't know, that just seems palpable and contagious right now. And if you're going to bring a new guy in halfway through the season, I just love that he's a guy with that sort of joy and energy to him.
Nuggets have a lot of smilers. A lot of big
Whittington?
smilers.
Who's the top smiler? Whittington.
It's Whittington.
Whittington.
Who's number 2?
It might be JaVale.
Who's number 3? Is it Brendan Vogt? We can't tell.
Brandon, great stuff, man. That was really awesome. Thanks so much, buddy. We'll see you on Friday. Friday night, the DNVR Bar, our next one.
Yeah.
Los Vivos
Let's do it, gents. Take it easy.
Vivos Immaculatos. You can go ahead and fire up that outro music, Kale. But I'm serious, man. Nuggets get to go for their longest streak of the Jokic era on Friday against this very San Antonio team. And it's a Friday night.
Dude.
Friday night at the DNVR Bar.
Oh, my God.
We got Nuggets. We got Avs. We got Rockies.
Oh, my God.
Thursday's already going to suck just by virtue of it's in the way of Friday.
Because it's not Friday.
Just because it's in the way. It's like a blocker.
Yeah.
And we just have to get through it because...
It's like when I'm telling a joke, it's just taking time away from Brendan telling a joke.
Bingo. It's just like that.
Somebody
it's exactly like that.
I've been waiting for it.
I'm having so much fun. You know, it's funny. Maybe we'll talk about this on Friday about where this season ranks amongst the most fun seasons.
Dude.
Because early on in the season, a little down, but I'm telling you right now, I'm just having so much fun with this. I honestly, when there's not a game, I'm a little bummed. We're not in a post-game show. I'm a little bummed.
Yeah. Well, watching a good team will do that.
We have entered into a new strata where every game has the potential of being fun. That has not ever been the case.
True.
It's very like the 2016 Warriors, some would say.
You know what it's
Maybe
like?
the 96 Bulls. I don't know. Maybe it's like
that. You know what streets been talking?
The streets been talking.
Many people have been saying
You know what?
that.
You know what? Honestly,
Nobody
this
does.
is like is the 57-win game or the 57-win Nuggets, where they won every home game except for 2 all year.
No.
Every game I went to that year was a victory. It was a convincing victory, and then they got blown out by the Warriors in the first round. Worst thing that ever happened to me.
Why
Let's
did
go.
you say that?
I don't know. I just had to put a period.
Wow,
at the end
the
of that
vibes
story.
were immaculate, weren't they, guys? They were. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Thanks, everybody, for riding with us through this entire streak. I know most of the people watching been here through the entire streak.
know.
Don't do anything different. If you were watching tonight, you gotta keep watching.
And welcome.
You are the lucky charm. You.
Thank you for moving with us from the small town to the big market energy. The big city. Welcome, big market energy. Us, you. We got it. Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Don't forget you can subscribe to the DNVR Nuggets podcast. Tomorrow there'll be an episode. It won't be streamed live, but there will be an episode, and you don't want to miss that. I promise you. Tune into the pregame show. We might have to turn that into an alternative podcast because I like them so
I like
much.
you just tease us out. Just do it, man. They're
I'm
recording.
going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep teasing it. Maybe we'll do that, guys. I don't know. Maybe.
We should.
People are saying we should, so people are talking.
I love when the streets talk.
I love it when the streets are talking. Hit the like button on your way out. Hit the subscribe button.
Smug life.
Smug life. There it is.